Hello people, so for today's video I'm going to be talking about panic attacks and more specifically how to get yourself out of a panic attack if you're having one, or if someone else is having one, how to get them to calm down and stuff like that. In my last video about anxiety, I asked you all if you would like me to share my tips on how to get yourself out of a panic attack, and you said yes, so here I am. A little disclaimer before I start is that I am not a psychologist. These are just tips and advice that I have found over the years, and also tips and advice that were given to me by a psychologist that I went to. So I hope that they will help you, and if they don't, then I would highly recommend going to a psychologist yourself and getting them to give you more specific tips that will help you. Firstly, I'm going to start off with a definition of what a panic attack is for those of you who are lucky enough to have never experienced one, or for those of you who have but don't know exactly what it is. I found a definition online, and I really hope that my phone doesn't make that really annoying sound on the camera. A panic attack is a sudden episode of intense fear that triggers severe physical reactions when there is no real danger or apparent cause. Panic attacks can be very frightening. When panic attacks occur, you might think you're losing control, having a heart attack, or even dying. And they also have a list of some of the symptoms of a panic attack, which are a sense of impending doom or danger, fear of loss of control or death, rapid pounding heart rate, sweating, trembling or shaking, shortness of breath or tightness in your throat, chills, hot flashes, nausea, abdominal cramping, chest pain, headache, dizziness, lightheadedness or faintness, numbness or tingling sensation, feeling of unreality or detachment. The first and most important thing for you to do when you're having a panic attack is to try and control your breathing, because I'm pretty sure that everyone, when they're having a panic attack, their breathing goes completely arseways and they're breathing out of their throat as opposed to their stomach. So the first thing that you need to do is focus on your breathing. The easiest way to do that is to first breathe out like to the count of 5, and then breathe in for 4, out for 4, in for 4, out for 4. You can vary the number depending on you, but personally I just like breathe in for 4 and out for 4 until your breathing gets back to normal, and make sure that you're breathing from your stomach as opposed to from here, because if you're still doing that exercise but breathing from your throat area, then obviously your breathing is not going back to normal. So make sure that you're breathing from your rib cage, stomach area, and not up here. It's very important for you to breathe out before you do this breathing exercise, because when you're panicking and you're having this shortness of breath, you are breathing in a lot but you're not breathing out. So it's important for you to take that long breath out for the count of 5 and then start doing the breathing exercises. It's quite simple. All you do is breathe in for 4. So it's that simple, and also counting it in your head will distract you from whatever you were worrying about, so that's kind of 2 in 1. And I would also recommend doing breathing out from your mouth, so going when you exhale as opposed to like just breathing normally from your nose, just until you get your breathing back to normal. Then obviously you can breathe completely normally. Secondly, I'd recommend trying to find a nice quiet space by yourself or going outside for some air. It really depends on you and your situation. For me, when I have panic attacks, I always want to just be by myself in a quiet space. So yeah, if you're having a panic attack, then try and find a quiet place for you to relax and try and get over it. If that's not possible, then maybe just going outside for some fresh air, for a walk, and concentrating on your breathing, that should also help. It really depends on where you are, I guess. And yeah, if it's not possible for you to go anywhere, if you're like stuck on a bus or a train or an airplane, then I would probably recommend getting yourself a glass of water. That also helps a lot in like hydrating you, because I find that I'm really thirsty after I have a panic attack. So get a glass of water. Also, the third thing that you need to do is challenge whatever thoughts you are having. Basically ask yourself if these thoughts are helpful to you or not helpful. And I can guarantee all of them will be not helpful to you. You won't have a helpful thought in there at all. And then question them. For example, if you're worrying about an exam and you're saying, oh my god, what if I fail? Turn the what if into a statement. So you'll be saying, I will fail. And you automatically see how stupid that sounds, because more than likely you have studied for this exam. And if you haven't, then that was a bit silly of you, and there is nothing you could really do about it. Now you just have to go in there and do your best and learn from your mistake. But yes, challenging the thoughts that you have is probably the most important thing to do, and realizing that they're silly and that it's not something that's going to happen. The next thing, I think that's 4, or maybe it's 5, 4 or 5. Next thing I'd recommend in helping you get out of a panic attack is knowing what triggers them. For me, it's when I have a lot on and I feel like I'm not gonna get everything done as best I want to, or it's when I'm in a social environment and I feel like people are looking at me and judging me. They're some of the things that trigger my anxiety and trigger me into having a panic attack. So sitting down and identifying what triggers your anxiety is a big thing, and just like writing it down and remembering what triggers it is a big step. Knowing your triggers will help you prepare for those situations. If those situations happen to arise, you will be prepared to the fact that you may have a panic attack, and making sure that you are aware of that fact and you aren't too hard on yourself in those situations is really important. For example, for me, when I go to social gatherings, I try not to put too much pressure on myself to talk to everyone, because that's what triggers my anxiety really. If I talk to a couple of people, then I'm happy and I feel proud of myself. And finally, if you do end up having a panic attack and you're not able to get yourself out of it, then you should definitely relax for the rest of the day or the rest of the evening and have yourself some me time, because I always feel absolutely exhausted after a panic attack, and you really just need time by yourself. So if at all possible, go and have yourself some me time and do your favorite things to get your mind off of it. And if you do manage to stop yourself from having a panic attack, then reward yourself. Give yourself a little treat for being able to do that, because it's really good to be able to get yourself out of a panic attack, and you should definitely be proud of that. And just let yourself know that you're trying your best, and even if you do end up having a panic attack and not being able to get yourself out of it, don't beat yourself up about it, because it's a really difficult thing to do. And I have a lot of times where I can't get myself out of panic attacks and I just end up having them. Those things happen. You're not going to be able to help yourself every time you have a panic attack, which is annoying, but it happens and you just need to get over it and learn from it. And you will be better prepared for next time it happens, and the next time it happens, then you will be able to get yourself out of it and prevent all of the stress. Yeah, I think I've talked about it for long enough now. I really hope that this video was helpful to some of you. Even if it was just helpful to one person, that would be enough for me. And if you try these tips and they don't help you, then talk to someone, talk to your parents about going to a psychologist or someone that will be able to give you tips on how to deal with it yourself, because I know that different things help different people with regards to anxiety. And if you try out any of these tips and they work, then please let me know, because I would really love to hear that my advice actually helped someone. That would actually be incredible. So if you're not subscribed already and you liked this video, then please hit the subscribe button. If you haven't liked this video already, then please do. It helps me out a lot. And if you know of anyone who you think needs to watch this video, then please share it via any of your social media. I think that knowing how to deal with panic attacks is something that everyone should know, even if they don't get it themselves. It's just something that everyone needs to know, so that they're able to help themselves and other people if and when panic attacks happen, because it's a very common thing. And yeah, the more people that watch this video, the better, because they'll be better prepared, hopefully, in the eventuality that they have a panic attack or they see someone having a panic attack. They'll know what to do. Yeah, I'm kind of talking shit now, so I hope you have a good rest of the day. Bye!